You spent 15 minutes just reading the stuff that's on this and seeing the videos with your own eyes. There's nobody's opinion. Just see what is happening in the Middle East. And then buy this book. And make sure you know what the truth is. Your eyes will be open and they will not close again. They won't close again on this issue. But arm yourself with the information. I want to finish out, I want to talk a little bit about a religious war, and then I want to show, because the name of the book is Deception. What I was fascinated in looking through is where the leaders will say one thing to Western media, and an hour later say something completely different. And it's all on tape. It's all on tape. It's there. One of those is a lie. It is truly a deception. We'll go there next. We're just talking about a book called Deception, and I mean it, and you know that I don't. I ask you to read an awful lot. I ask a ton of you, and I apologize. And I understand that you have limited funds and you can't do anything, but follow your heart. If this is something that is important to you, or if you happen to be a talk show host on radio or anyone connected to one, get this book from palwatch.org. We're just talking about Part 4, the study of Palestinian-funded magazine. It's right here, and it has the magazine in it, and we're going to show it to you here in a second. But this is Palestinian Authority, so we fund the Palestinian Authority. We send our tax dollars over there. And I have to tell you, if I had a single penny going to somebody who did what we're going to show you, did this, I don't care how much good, I don't care if you were holding and cuddling babies the other 23 hours and 30 minutes. I don't care what you're doing. You do this, not a dime to you, and yet we continue to fund them. When did this come out?
What we did is we studied this children's magazine for about a year. And this particular item was in February 2011.
Okay, yeah, it says January 2011.
I'm sorry, January 2011.
So this year.
Yes.
This year.
Yes.
While the world is clamoring for peace, the administration is saying, no, they're all great and everything's going to be great and this is a beautiful Arab Spring. This is what they print in their magazine, right?
Correct.
Okay. Tell me what it is, and then we'll go over it.
Well, the first thing that has to be said about this magazine, you sort of hinted at, in general, it's a wonderful and positive magazine. It tells children to study hard. It tells them to do their homework. It tells them to study science. And it tells them to be good to their neighbors. And it includes everyone else, Christians, Druze, but it doesn't include Jews. When it comes to messages about Jews in Israel, they're always negative. And that's a tragedy. Now, one of these messages that you're referring to now, this magazine, in addition to having the messages that are done by the editors, children can submit. A 10th grade girl submitted an essay that she wrote that they accepted for publication. In it she writes that she had a dream, and in her dream she met 4 historical figures. Now, these historical figures, all of them are presented as positive figures. 3 of them are heroic Muslims, one of them Nobel Prize winner, one of them mathematician, one of them Saladin who conquered Jerusalem. The 4th heroic role model for children is Adolf Hitler.
Okay, now let's go. I turned to the next door where Hitler awaited me, she said. How old's this girl who wrote this?
A 10th grader, probably.
10th grader. I said, you're the one who killed the Jews. Hitler said, yes, I killed them. So you would know that they are a nation which spreads destruction all over the world. And what I ask of you is to be resilient and patient concerning the suffering that Palestine is experiencing at their hands. I said to Hitler, thanks for the advice.
Yeah.
Glorification of Hitler.
Yeah. So it's horrific on 2 levels. What was it about the education that this girl was receiving her entire life that she's concluded that Hitler is a hero? And I think the tragedy is that everything that you were describing, that we were talking about now, the demonization, and another issue that we haven't talked yet about, which is the glorification of terrorists, has made.
Do we have any of the
Sure.
pieces of the glorification? We don't.
Yep.
Well, just talk about it a little bit, because They're naming everything after terrorists.
That's right.
They're naming squares and everything.
They're naming, I'll give you one example.
Okay.
Dalal Mughrabi. Dalal Mughrabi is a female terrorist. 1978, hijacked an Israeli bus, civilian bus. 37 civilians were killed. One American named Gail Rubin. The rest Israelis were all killed. And Dalal Mughrabi, because she was involved in what was the most lethal terrorist attack in Israel's history, has become an incredible Palestinian hero and role model through the Palestinian Authority structure. So, for example, there are 2 schools for girls named for Dalal Mughrabi. There's a square in Ramallah named for Dalal Mughrabi. This past summer, there were 2 summer camps that had divisions named for her. One of them was sponsored by Salam Fayyad, the Prime Minister of the Palestinian Authority, sponsored this camp with a branch named for Dalal Mughrabi. There were soccer tournaments named for Dalal Mughrabi. In fact, the Fatah, which is seen as the moderate, named their sorority organization. For all universities, the sorority sisters are all in an organization called Sisters of Dalal. So that all the university students who are part of the Fatah are admiring Dalal Mughrabi, killer of 37 civilians, just by participating in the Sisters of Dalal.
Okay, let me go here real quick. World Without Israel, let me just play 2 quick clips. World Without Israel, these are both from, one's a children's show and then one is a quiz show. Watch. Play them back to back, please.
فرحان؟ أرجوني وين رحتوا على خط فلسطين؟
رحنا على بحيرة طبرية والبحر المية واليافا وحيفا وأريحة وجنين ونابلس.
يعني أنتوا زايرين كثير أماكن مختلفة بفلسطين وهذا إشي كثير منيح. كثير حلو إنه نزور دائما أماكن جديدة بدولتنا.
عدد الدول التي تحد لبنان.
دولتان سوريا وفلسطين.
طبعا هي دولتان سوريا وفلسطين. هل أنت جارتنا يعني؟ مش معقول ما نكون عارفين.
Okay, Israel's gone. They first say visit all the places you visited in Palestine. Those are in Israel.
That's right.
Those are in
Jaffa and Haifa are in Israel. The Sea of Galilee is in Israel. And it's called our state, Palestine, Dalatna Palestine, our state. It's not even a geographic area, as if a state of Palestine already exists, and it includes all of Israel, and that you saw very, very young children.
It's absolutely crazy what's going on.
Yeah, and this is official TV, controlled and owned.
Okay, give me Abbas Zaki on deception. Go ahead.
Yes.
To explain this one first.
Okay, now this is critical. Abbas Zaki.
Wait, go ahead.
The person you're going to hear speaking is a very senior person in the Palestinian Authority. He's close to Mahmoud Abbas, the chairman. And in this clip, he was interviewed a few months ago on Al Jazeera. And basically what he said was, everyone knows if Israel goes back to the 67 borders, that's the end of its existence. Israel will not be able to survive. So we say we want Israel to go back to those borders, but everybody knows that's the end of Israel. And then he adds at the end, you can say this to yourself. You can't say it out loud, meaning deceive the world.
Here it is, deception. Watch this.
التسوية قائمة على أساس حدود 4 جيران. وبالتالي لما بتكون التسوية على حدود 4 جيران الرئيس بيفهم واحنا بنفهم والكل بيعرف انه لا يمكن تحقيق الفكرة الملهمة او الهدف الكبير دفعة واحدة. إسرائيل إذا انسحبت من القدس، إسرائيل إذا خلعت المستوطنات 650 ألف مستوطن، إسرائيل إذا زاحت الجدار، إيش إسرائيل بيكون؟ إسرائيل بتنتهي. فأنا رأيي إذا جيت تقول بدي أخلعها من الوجود، يا عيني يا عيني وضع صعب، مش سياسة هاي ومتحكيش للعالم، احكيها بينك وبين نفسك كده.
This is how arrogant they are. They know that the Western media will not pay any attention. This is exactly, I know I said this about this time last night. Have you read In the Garden of Beasts? Have you read that?
No, I haven't.
It was a New York Times bestseller. Came out. Could we get, what's his name, Eric Larson? Can we get him on the show? See if we can get him on the show. It's an amazing book, and it documents what happened in Germany, and how all of this stuff was there. And all of the journalists, they didn't pay attention. They didn't believe it when they heard it. Few people translated. You know, over here in America, we paid no attention to it. We dismissed it when we did hear it. And the same exact thing is happening. Is it lazy journalists in the West that are not going to Palwatch, not seeing that clip, not translating. How is somebody that senior saying that and the world not reporting it?
Yeah, it is striking, but I want to tell you a fascinating quote by Chief Justice Jackson of the Nuremberg trials. This is an American judge who was the Chief Justice at the Nuremberg trials. And in his introduction to the final reports of the Nuremberg trials, he wrote, when Hitler stated his claims, I'm paraphrasing, but I'm getting it almost precise. When Hitler stated his goals for the war, he said them so openly that no one took him seriously. It's just because it was said so openly. Hitler kept saying he wanted to destroy the Jews, he wanted to conquer the world. No one took him seriously, and that's the great tragedy that's repeating today. I think if intelligence services were finding that the Palestinians were planning to destroy Israel through this deception, it would have, maybe moved the Western world. Because it's said so openly, people aren't trusting them. And I want to say something. What we have learned, you have to listen to what the Palestinians say, and you have to believe them. Because everything that they've told their people has turned out to be correct.
I have to tell you, it's not a Palestinian thing. If a Jew is my neighbor and he's saying, you Christians, I'm going to wipe all you people out, I listen to him. If it's a Muslim, if it's a Christian, I listen to him. If it's an atheist, I listen to him. If he's naming things after people who have killed Christians, I listen to him. If the Canadians were saying that, you'd listen to them. You just don't take people who are saying, we're going to wipe you out, we're going to kill you all, we're building the ovens again, all of that stuff. You don't. Are you kidding me? We can't say in our own schools. We can't bring a little plastic G.I. Joe gun into the classroom. We just had a kid expelled in class because he said some black anchorman looked like Barack Obama, and somebody took offense to it, and so we had to teach him a lesson. But this stuff can be said, and nobody pays attention to it. It's insane. You know what it is? When I went to the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C., the most disturbing room, and when I was there, the doors, they had a bomb alert. And have you ever been there during the bomb alert?
No, I haven't.
It's frightening, especially if you're in the room that I was in with the gas chambers.
Oh, my.
Gas chambers and the doors. When there's a bomb alert, that building seals itself off. Okay? Fire doors. And the doors, the alarms go off, and it says, remain where you are. Now, I'm in the room where the gas chamber doors are. And this giant fire door is closing. And you want to talk about, I mean, I said when I left, I said, you should do that every time. Anybody goes in that room, when you get it full, you just close that door. Because you're all of a sudden you're like, oh, dear God. And you have that fear. And that door closed on us. That's how I experienced the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C. You'll never, ever forget it that way. More disturbing than that experience was standing on the first floor, where up on the wall were all the American newspapers. And it's printed all there. Everything Hitler said. On the front page, sometimes on, the front page of the B section. It's all there, saying, I'm going to round them all up, I'm going to kill them, take them, somebody take them, because I'm going to kill them all. And to realize all the exit ramps were there. Nobody wanted to believe it. We can't make the mistake again. The name of the book is Deception. It's not in bookstores. You'll find it at Palwatch. If you are somebody who is interested in Israel, no. If you are someone who is interested in humanity, go to palwatch.org and order this book. When will it be?
It'll be available shortly.
Okay. And just read the website and stay abreast on what is happening on a daily basis. The world is spiraling out of control, and it is speeding up. Thank you for your work.
Thank you very much.
You bet.